Fuzzy bear, fuzzy stuff.
Yeah.
It's on fire. Yeah.
Good morning and welcome to the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge here at Cigar and Lounge in beautiful Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I am joined by my two co-hosts, Mort, Bones, and I'm Maverick, welcoming you to the show. Well, it's starting to get warmer out in the mornings.
Hit us with the coffee. We'll start that all out.
We got a community coffee, medium roast.
The PCA this past weekend.
Yes.
So we decided to give it a shot, see how it is. We're only going to rate it today. We're not going to tell you anything about it because Bones has arranged for them to come on next week.
Yeah.
To talk about it. So
how about that?
We're going to smoke it, rate it, and then next week they're going to tell us all about it, tell us all about their company. We made some pretty good connections while we were there.
Yes, we did.
Set up a couple of shows. Yeah, we're never going to be like the big guys.
Yeah, Kurt,
maybe we will.
Jimmy,
Don't sell us short.
No, dude, we're never going to be like Garofalo.
It's too much work.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't sell yourself short on not being a decent show or a good show.
We're a decent show.
You know what I mean? We have fun and we're all right.
We're a decent show.
What do you think about that parking out front?
Oh, it's wonderful.
I wanted to just ram it with my car.
Yeah, I know, because it took your spot.
Well, not just that. It's just they're not supposed to park like that.
But dude, like Mike says, we said it before, we have white lines going that way.
Yeah, I know.
So when and if they ever pave the parking lot,
I think
don't
you
put
show up with some black spray paint over the line.
Yeah.
Or you get one of the parking things I showed you. Remember?
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but they're fucking old.
The three of us went to the PCA in New Orleans.
Yes.
Different days.
We did go different days, but it's irrelevant on what day you went. It was
Same thing.
Yes, it was the same thing. Mav, what was your opinion of the PCA?
Well, it was my first experience.
Don't say obvious.
Well, what stuck out was that it was a fabulous show and that everybody did a great job. What stuck out is everybody who had a booth really went all out with carpet and buildings and stuff. It looked like it was almost a storefront. That's what was amazing to me. You know what I mean?
That was the big boys.
Yeah, well, I thought that was pretty nice.
Yeah.
The little boys, Pop-Up tent, that.
What stuck out with you?
Got to meet people that we've dealt with online before, but never got to meet in person. That happens every year. We ran into Abe from Smoking. We ran into Garofalo from two guys. Just there was a lot of networking. We met we got a few, like I said, a few folks coming on. These guys are coming on next week to talk about the Cigar. The following week, we met the coffee guy. Well, we didn't meet. We went to the CFW tent and they said, "Oh, you got coffee?" He said, "Well, that's a collaboration we do with Janice Coffee. Buy one, I think it's buy a bag of coffee, and they donate a bag of coffee to the troops."
Yeah.
I said, "Oh, okay." So I called them up or I texted them. And I got back to me. I was texting them like 10:30 last night. I don't want to go to bed. I was tired. And he said, "Yeah, well, I didn't know what I'm going to talk about." And I said, "He's talking about your coffee, talking about collaboration with CFW." He said, "Well, what do you guys want to drink?" I said, "Well, what do you got?" He goes, "Well, I have a 9.5 something." And then he goes, "I have the CFW blend." I said, Send the CFW blend. Yeah, we're all about the military. So they're coming on the week after next. And then Howard G's coming on in June. And I got somebody else coming on too. But anyway, I enjoyed it. I got to meet up with a friend of mine that I met last year, but she couldn't. She had a problem getting back in the second day. The girl Kim.
Wait, didn't you pay for her ticket last year?
No,
I thought she paid.
No, she didn't come in. She. I forgot what was going on.
You did pay for somebody's ticket last year, if I remember right. We ran into somebody that you met online.
That was her, but I didn't pay for it. She didn't come in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I wasn't paying $150.
No, I know.
Would it be worth $150 if you can get a ticket in from a shop or something like that? It's worth the walking. It's a lot of walking around.
Yeah.
And you wore the wrong shoes.
Yeah, they were comfortable when I put them on, but they weren't comfortable when we got.
Yeah, well, I did all right. I think I really did all right.
It was good. Just to let you guys know, I won't be here next week. We'll be up in Kentucky for the family thing.
All right, got to bring that guy on.
So
I'm gonna bring him on.
My take from the whole show, it was a little smaller than last year as far as size wise, but I thought there was more smaller companies represented, and you just don't have time to talk to all the smaller companies.
No, you don't.
You really,
It's overwhelming.
it can be.
Good morning,
Yeah.
Sammy.
Hey, Sam.
What the
Sammy,
hell?
what's up, brother?
What kind of pick was that with Kansas City last night? Jeez.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
You know, I think it's a little deceiving. Because once you walk in the hall, it's the hall.
Yeah.
You know, there were a lot of big guys. I didn't think there was many small guys. Some of the small guys were still there that we met last year. We ran into them again. Because a lot of smaller ones are saying, we just can't afford to go there.
I can understand that.
By the time we fly there and pay for hotels and ship cigars, and we're not making any money. So why? Well, you're still getting your name out there. You don't want to lose money, but you got to get your product out.
But I really wonder, and it would be something that the PCA would have to poll those smaller companies about whether they actually gain more sales as a result. The smaller companies, I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
From the brick and mortar perspective, it's a gamble to bring in a company that has no national face.
Right.
You know, so
For somebody to try it, right?
I would be curious to see if anybody actually goes from, you know, I sell 100 boxes a year to I'm now selling 500 a year because I went to the PCA.
Right.
I'd really be curious as to see if they actually step it up a little bit, if they improve their sales as a result.
Oh,
morning,
that's
Tom.
interesting.
That would be something that the PCA should check on their
What's
analytics.
up, John?
If I get it right, John's part of the Cigar on, if I remember right, on the one I do on Sunday nights. But from one of the head guys, one of the lead guys on Banff Cigars, he said for him, he's all over the place. It's not worth it to him. And he's not super small, but he's not super big. But he's just like, I sell some, but it doesn't. A lot of it's like
Balance out?
A lot
Don't
of it's like
balance
resales. It's people that already have or whatever. So he just weighed the options and just said it's just not worth it.
I can see how some companies would say no. We're going to focus in on marketing, this kind of, you know, whether it be social media, whatever the case is.
And put their energies towards that.
I could see that.
Yes.
But let's lay it out on the table. A lot of these smaller companies don't get any love from brick and mortars at all.
Right.
Because they're not nationally known. They're not in the cigar magazines. They don't have any rated cigars. You know, there's all kinds of things that work work against them. So you have to have some avenue to bring notoriety to bring that knowledge.
Being recognized.
Yeah, I want to try your cigars.
Yeah, right.
And brick and mortar stores have to be willing to step out on these companies as well.
Sure.
Now, there's got to be a give and take for them as well. You know, Bones, we've talked about this before, how some of these smaller companies, if they really want to get into the shops, they got to offer the shops maybe a consignment. They got to offer them something, because
some type of deal where it's going to,
We're taking a gamble on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we're taking a shot.
So since we all three of us work here and we spend
Volunteer, yeah.
yeah, well, I mean, yes,
Yeah, you know what I mean.
we spend a lot of time here. We've seen some of the smaller companies come in, and we really want to give them a shot,
Right, sure.
and they fizzle.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about like a firecracker that fizzles out and doesn't blow up.
Yeah.
And you're giving the cigars away, basically.
Yeah. It's very tough.
It's a tough market because people come in and they want this. They want a brand. They want a national brand. And we've all answered the phones. We all know, you know what I'm getting ready to say.
I know.
Phone rings. Hey, have you got any Andalusian bulls? Okay, here we go. We're going down the line.
Yeah.
No, we don't have those. Have you got any
Opus X.
Amazon Basin? No, we don't have any Opus X. You're like, okay, somebody's reading the magazine and they're going down the top, the top 10,
Yeah.
and they're asking us if we got the top 10.
Or they're trying to find the cheapest place to buy them.
I don't think that there is no such thing as the cheapest place for those.
The models that you mentioned.
That-
You're
not
right.
for those cigars.
You're right.
But from doing this, the thing on Wednesdays with the TPA, it's all about the smaller guys. It's more, they're more about the consumer and the small brands. So if you're a TPA shop, if you're a shop and you're a member of the TPA, you can bring in other member brands in your shop. You get a little discount and you pass it on to the members.
Right.
But a lot of them send cigars, a few samples to the shop and say, oh, that's all right. Let's bring a couple, this and this in and give them a shot, and they stay or they go. But like we talked, some of these companies, even the smaller ones, like, all right, 10 boxes, get one free, 20 boxes, get two free. Well, the smaller shops can't afford to buy 10 or 20 boxes of a cigar that's unproven to them.
And 3 or 4 faces.
Oh, yeah, exactly, Matt. That's what I was going to get ready to say. And you have to carry 3 faces.
Minimum, yeah.
So we did run into a couple of smaller companies, and we gave them a look that said there's no minimum. What we suggest is these 3 or these 3, and see if they sell. And
that's a good idea.
that's really the only way that these small companies are going to get into.
Yeah, and they can't put a certain criteria on it because they may lose out.
They are going to lose out.
Yeah.
You get and we're not a small shop by any means. We're
Those guys right there. Martinez Cigars out of New York.
Okay.
The Lanceros guys.
okay,
They were good.
but we're not a small shop, and we've got quite a few cigars.
Yeah.
We still get complaints from people that come in. You don't have this. You don't have this. Look, you're certainly not going to make everybody happy.
You can't.
No.
You
But-
can't make everybody happy.
But I guess to the point, when you're a smaller company, you got to be willing to sacrifice dumping 10 boxes on a small shop like ours, or
Yeah.
a shop like ours,
Yes.
and not limiting or not hand tying you,
Right.
so you don't end up with boxes of cigars they don't ever sell.
Right.
Then you got to, I got
Yeah,
to sell a
dump 'em.
box for $100,
Yeah, you got to dump them.
and that's not preferable either.
No, that's not good. That's not good at all.
I did get to meet the dude from Karate Kid.
Yeah.
Break his knee.
Yeah. I thought about that too, and I was like,
But he was there. It was like they had him there.
Mhm.
Just he wasn't partaking of it.
He wasn't engaged.
No, not really. He was just kind of there for a photo shoot,
Yeah.
photo ops, and
Guy Ferrari was the same way. He's out there doing the knuckle sandwich, and pushing that. It was in Vegas. They
Yeah.
did the same thing in New Orleans. You just couldn't get to him because he's that, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a picture with him.
he wasn't there Sunday, I don't think,
Yeah,
but he
yeah.
was there Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, you want a picture with him, but does it matter? 'Cause
Yeah.
you didn't get to engage with him, and it really doesn't matter. Yeah, the knuckle sandwich is a good cigar.
Yeah.
It's a solid cigar. Conor McGregor came out with one.
Yeah, it was there too. I think they said.
It's hard to find. It's hard to get here. First of all, we're there as the show.
Right.
Okay, even though Mav and I went as
Volunteers
part of
in the shop.
the shop,
Yeah.
we still went there to glean information from these companies so that we could talk about them.
Right. Sure.
So we get there and you want to know all about their cigars, and they look at you and they go,
How much you buy?
yeah, what are you going to buy? Well, you know, we're part of the, we're going to do a show. We're going to talk about your cigars. We got appointments to worry about.
Yeah. Yeah. Dissonance.
Okay, so
In a way.
we're not going to talk to you.
Right.
And we're not going to talk about your cigars. These guys, when we mentioned that we do a podcast or, you know, a Facebook Live show, they were like, here, take one of these. You know, take one, smoke them, let us know how you like them. And that's how you
It's a
do it.
big cigar.
It is a big cigar.
I like it.
It really is a big
I
cigar.
like it.
So we had another event occur last night. So we've already talked about the cigar event. We had the
The
NFL
NFL
draft.
draft.
Mav, how did your team do, you think?
I didn't even see really. I didn't wait around to that. I waited around till the Saints and then me and Fast left. After that,
Yeah, we all got up.
I don't know what the Eagles took. Can you tell me what they took?
I have no idea. So,
Do you know, Bones? I think they took a defensive lineman, which I wish they would have took a secondary guy because we need help in the secondary. I think our defense is pretty solid.
At the 20th pick, they took Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC.
so you got a receiver.
We needed another one since Brown's gone, and I think Makai Lemon's pretty good.
Bones, what do you think?
I think the Giants did okay. Considering we needed S. Rogers. Did we need an offensive tackle? Never hurts to protect the quarterback.
Yeah, that's
Um,
big time true.
What they do today, maybe pick up another running back.
Yeah, you definitely need.
This is where they
We
start.
need secondary, Jeff.
But-
We need secondary help.
This is when you get into the second and third round. That's when you pick up
Yeah,
those type of players. Your first round picks, man, that's big money for the teams.
We
Yeah.
got the 5th pick in the 2nd round too.
I didn't stick around to see if Cincinnati actually picked anybody decent. I know the Saints. They were, and I talked about it this morning with the crew here. They had a lousy quarterback pick last year.
yeah,
Nobody was real happy with them. But, first of all, they passed on Sanders, which a lot of teams or a lot of fans were like, this.
they would
It
have.
doesn't make sense,
Right.
right? You got a quarterback that has a better potential. It seems like the quarterback is doing okay.
I
He
don't
did
think.
okay.
I don't think they believed in him.
I don't think so either. I think a lot of people passed on him because of the name.
The hype, the
And-
thing,
and maybe
just
so.
the hype. You know what I mean? Like, all right, the hype and bullshit. So what?
He did well.
But
Okay.
this year, I don't think they could have picked anybody worse.
Yeah,
You got a player that only played 3 games last season.
Jordan
because-
Tyson, the
because
wide
of his,
receiver.
ACL,
Yeah.
MCL,
DCL, CCD.
all the CLs.
He's
were-
good.
Yeah.
He's good though.
Yeah, but he's accident prone and he's got a bum.
bum wheel.
So, okay, we'll see how it pans out. But I'm just, your first round is usually somebody that's healthy, that did well in the combine, that fills a spot that you need, right?
Well, I'm assuming they had the medical report and all that on.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know
we-
if they would, but Cincinnati did not have a pick in the first round.
You
They
know,
probably
Jeff,
traded it
on
off.
the left side of the secondary, as that's where we need help. We need help there, bad. Number 14, who covers that side, I forget his name right now. He sucks, man. He gets the ball up all the time. He either overplays him or underplays him.
Wow, the Jets took
So why is he still there? Is the question.
I don't know the answer to that because I get frustrated with that side of the field, the left side of the field all the time. They cross the field, he understeps them, and boom, there's a completion. And I'm like, dude, put the second guy that's waiting in. You can't do no worse.
Right.
Because they're completing and they're getting what they need to get. I hate number 14.
And what's your favorite play on the
You know my favorite play. I hate that play.
But
That
you,
little spot.
the crazy thing about the screen pass, though, Nav, is it'll get you 2 or 3 yards.
Sometimes.
Yes, sometimes it's a loss.
Yeah. But you know what? If they throw it 2 or 3 yards, I wouldn't mind it. But they throw it parallel, and they're right on, and they know that. Then they're right on.
They're expecting it.
Yeah, he steps back,
Yeah.
and then he throws it, and they're 2 yards deep, and then he needs 5 yards to make a 3-yard completion.
That's because you got the whiteout.
Yeah,
sitting
and I'm
on top of
thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah. That should be a decoy.
Right. Yeah, right. And it drives me nuts, that play.
Yeah, it should be a decoy.
And you know, it does work sometimes, and it probably works more times than I think. But the times that it really need it, it don't work.
Right, and that's when you actually are paying attention.
Yeah.
When you actually need those yards. And
And then you watch it, and you go, oh,
why are you doing that?
yeah, right.
You would have done better running it up the middle.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it busts for 10, 15 yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's the time.
But those aren't the times that we're paying attention
Yeah,
to.
right.
No.
That's the times when you're saying, wow, that was great play. But that ain't the times we're paying attention to that exact play.
Usually when they hit that screen, you look at the field, and obviously, we're armchair quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Monday morning quarterback.
But you see the open field up the middle, and you're like, why didn't you just run? You could have got 5 yards.
Yeah, right.
And instead, you lost 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you might have a quarterback that has no wheels,
That's
or
true.
lacks confidence,
Yeah.
or doesn't want to get hurt. Doesn't want to get
My
hit.
quarterback runs it. He don't mind.
No, he gets his nail
Jalen Hurts
quite a
don't
bit.
mind. He don't mind getting wild.
Yeah.
because he can't throw very long.
Yeah, you're right. And I think they got him figured out almost.
It
I think
almost
they almost got him figured out.
it almost seemed like it, but
Mhm.
but this coming back to new season, you got new players.
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't know.
not.
I don't
We'll
know
see.
if they'll have to pick it
If he don't have a stunning year, a good year, I don't know. I'm thinking like 12, 13 wins.
He gets to the playoffs.
You know what I mean? That's important.
The Jets, I thought, made a pretty good pick in the first round.
Tight end.
But as Mike was saying, they don't use them.
They don't. The
But
Jets
you need the position.
the Jets need a quarterback, because what do they got
I like
right
the
now?
Jets.
What do they have?
Yeah.
They got a washed up quarterback. That's
Yeah. They know him figured out.
he's getting ready to.
Jets.
Isn't that Flacco?
Yeah, Flacco.
For the Jets?
I think so.
No.
Who's the quarterback for the Jets?
Come on. Who's the quarterback for the Jets? Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Chief.
Answer the fucking question. Who's the young quarterback for the Jets? The washed up.
It's not Flacco.
Flacco?
Is it Flacco?
Flacco's the backup. That's a good question.
Because we know the Steelers are buying a new quarterback. They have to. The Steelers have to buy a new quarterback.
Geno Smith.
Will Howard.
They do have Howard, but who was their starter this past year?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
The Jets have Brady Cook, Geno Smith, and Bailey
Geno
Zappi.
Smith.
Geno
Geno
Smith.
Smith is
Yeah, and Bailey Zappi. Who the fuck is
I
that?
have no idea.
I have no idea who Brady.
He was the
Brady
parking lot
Cook is.
attendant last year.
Brady Cook was out of Michigan State.
He's selling candy in the fucking.
Yeah, it's a
stand.
concession
He was pulling out the carts at Walmart.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Well,
the Bengals don't have a pick in the first
Yeah,
round.
Yeah.
They traded it off to somebody, didn't they?
The Giants for that.
Did they?
Next to loss.
I
That's
don't
right.
understand
So
it.
So back to cigars real quick. Drew Estates is moving their footprint a little bit.
yeah, some of their
They're moving. They're building a 73,000 square foot factory in the Dominican Republic under the banner name Drew Dominicana, and they're moving over their Dominicana line and two other lines that are going to be strictly made there.
so those 2 cigars that came out on the Freestyle Live.
That's probably going to be one.
Those
of
are the 2 cigars that are part of that move.
Right.
fucking terrible.
I don't
I'm
normally.
sorry.
Well, I do. I do normally tell if it's a good cigar or not. I don't really have a problem doing that. I thought those 2 cigars were lousy.
Absolutely. I am going to say I concur.
One was better than the other. That
Yeah,
was-
but one better lousy than the other better lousy
Yeah.
is not saying much.
the fire
That
It had a
sweet
little bit of
one,
a flavor to it, but not kind of
dude,
bland.
that sweet one.
But the water,
So let's
too sweet.
let's go back.
We're not. Then again, we're not sweet guys. Well, Jeff,
Well, I mean,
Morton's.
we all are kind of sweet.
But I'm saying honestly, the sweet one. If I was on a desert island, I would smoke that.
I wasn't expecting it. That was my problem.
Right.
And I'm not a big fan of
Flavored sweet
the flavored
cigars.
cigars.
Yeah, of course not.
So as soon as I put that in, after I cut it and I put it in my mouth,
You knew.
I went, "Ooh, this is unexpected." I was
Yeah.
kind of expecting
I was mad when I got smoked
the
out.
way it looked
Yeah.
like it was going to be like a blackened.
Yeah.
So Drew Estate this last time with Freestyle, in my opinion, not an affront to Drew Estate. They got their model. They got it figured out. They came out with that blackened, the Connecticut, that was the lightest cigar that they have ever released, and that was their claim on this. This is, and it has a purpose because we sell it for that reason, right?
Right.
I've never smoked a cigar before. This is the one you want. It's not going to knock your socks off with nicotine. It's got some flavor, but not a whole lot, right?
Right.
This year with their Freestyle Live, I think they said that was lousy, but we can make one lousier.
Yes. And you know what? We're here to be honest, and it's all separate opinions, all separate palates.
But they're all the same.
We all agree that was absolutely horrendously terrible. That's what I had to say about it.
That was probably the worst Freestyle Live release that they came out with.
Yes.
I'd rather smoke a factory smoke.
It's worse, way worse than that.
Yeah.
It's way worse than that.
So we all remember the first couple of Freestyle Lives that came out, and the cigars that they released were phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had the Nicarusta that came out, right?
Who wants the last good one?
Oh my goodness, that was amazing cigar.
Well, what happened?
They changed their
They realized that acids and the Deadwood Girls were actually selling, so they put a lot of effort behind those type of cigars. Now, is the market oversaturated by those?
Could be.
As long as brands are still releasing them, then it's not oversaturated.
Right.
And when it comes to the point where you start seeing them on Cigar Bid for $5 a box,
Yeah.
then you know it's kind of a big
Then
deal.
it's done.
Speaking of Drew Estates, Jonathan Drew was there pushing his new 13-year Jade Sand and Son cigar.
Okay.
Him and his son. The company's named after him and his son. But then I read further in the article. I was like, oh, that's where the 13 years comes from. It's 13 years since he sold Drew Estates to whoever, and then him opening up this company. So it's been 13 years since he's actually been
Just the face of a company.
How about that? That's a long time ago.
Still going to be the face of Drew Estates? I don't know. How can you be if you're? I don't know.
Thanks, Caleb.
Can you have allegiance to your own and still be part? I think
so.
I think it holds his name. So yes, he's not going to let that fall.
No.
I will say one thing, and it's not because of any other reason other than we kind of like Perdomos,
Yes.
and we've got a pretty decent relationship with the rep that comes in our area, and we've met the Perdomo owner.
Yes,
We've met Nick. The father-son that's coming out, that humidor is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh.
The box that it's in, it was in a glass case, so you
Yeah.
can't touch it. But it's designed to be a desktop humidor as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah. It is. It's very nice.
But you got to buy him by the box. By that.
And
Was it 200 a box? 250 a box?
I actually had a chance to look at one of the cigars advertisements that came out this morning, and they have the Figurados coming out in that one. So there's like 50 in a box, $600.
Wow.
$600 MSRP. A
Wow.
little over that.
But I'll tell you what, it is a beautiful box. It is a nice humidor for the thing. You want something that nice, you pay for it.
In to their credit, very seldom do you get a Perdomo cigar that's lousy, that burns bad,
Right.
or that just doesn't hit.
Very so often.
That's a accurate statement.
And
Pretty consistent cigar.
yeah, so you would, and I guess I'm speaking for the three of us, but if you look at the most consistent that we've smoked, that's probably the one.
Yes.
The brand that's the most consistent. And they haven't really kowtowed to the flavored guys. You know, they haven't branched out into
They don't need to.
I hope they don't ever do.
They don't need to. I don't think it's on their market strategy.
I don't think it's on their radar.
No, I don't think so at all. I just don't think that would be a good idea for them.
So-
You know what? There's the case where enough's enough.
I'm gonna close my comments on the PCA with this. I was pleasantly surprised to see a lot of black-owned companies represented.
Absolutely, David.
I do too.
We do get, from time to time, we get some people come into the shop that have never been here, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody that they can.
MSRP $15. That's cheaper than some of the legacies we got.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Thanks, Sammy.
So I'm excited. I'm excited for them. Okay, I'd like to see more representation. You know, like this, and that segues us into this cigar right here.
Yes.
What do you think about this cigar?
I'll tell you what. I must have graduated into the Maduro class because this didn't hit me hard at all. I thought
It's a medium.
I think
Going to
medium
buy.
Maduro, but I've been smoking more mediums lately, and they don't hurt me. I've been smoking a couple of Maduros lately, and they've been fine. So I think I'm on the graduation trail. I thought this was very good
Okay,
with the coffee. 8.
8. Total.
Yeah. Yep. I
What-
thought the cigar was very, very good.
Cigar alone.
We're all
I'm
like
going to go with the 8.
we're all like that, Caleb.
You're gonna say the cigar was an 8.
Yes,
That's pretty solid.
I think it was very good. Everything burned real well. It drew real well.
Yeah,
I really liked it. I don't know why, but I really liked it.
yeah.
Tasted good.
I'd like to see what their Habanos in Connecticut's like,
Oh man,
because if this
Connecticut
is,
early in the morning out in the back.
Like
I was out back this morning with my gazebo with the TV on.
Yeah.
Really, really nice.
yeah, it's starting out as a good morning.
Yeah.
Bones,
I like it. I'm giving it probably with the coffee 8.5 overall.
How about just the cigar?
The coffee I'll probably give a 9 because I just like community coffee. It's good. I'm giving the cigar an 8.5.
okay,
So
Really
it's
nice.
somewhere between 8.5 9 for
Really
both.
yeah.
It's a long smoke.
It's
a big
well, we
smoke.
got the big ring gauge,
Yeah.
and
It's a nice
I
ring
brought
gauge, yeah.
I brought you back a smaller ring gauge. You can see
Oh yeah,
that.
you got the Tommy Bahama.
we got the bigger ring gauges.
Yeah.
Which I'm not normally a fan of.
So I came across this company on social media,
Okay.
and it came indirectly from a Facebook friend that actually lives in Tel Aviv,
Okay.
has a cigar shop there, and you have to translate his post because it's straight up in Hebrew.
Wow.
So you translate his stuff, and he's talking about these cigars that, this
Is it?
they're American
Israelis,
Israelis,
yeah.
I guess. They spoke very good English.
Okay.
I was impressed by the fact that they're actually going out there like that. That we are an Israeli-owned company, that kind of thing. I was really impressed by that fact. So I went on our day with This one I had to find because I wanted to meet the guys. I wanted to see what they had. And they had a small booth. Yes, they had a small booth.
Not
Good
bad though.
presence.
They had some
No, they
nice chairs sitting in,
Yeah.
carpet.
yeah, they were very attentive to the people that
Yes.
even though you didn't have an appointment, they still talked to you.
Nice.
And they spent quite a bit of time talking with us. And
Good.
I was really
I'm
impressed with that.
glad.
So they gave us the cigars to try. And I'm going to give you my 8.45.
No, that's great. That's good.
8.45.
All right, man. Well, great. Hey,
Okay.
I know that.
I had to
Nice,
think about that.
nice middle of the range.
I had to think about that. It is a good cigar.
It really is.
It's tasty.
I definitely buy this. I don't care what the price is either. I definitely buy it.
I'd like to know what the price point is.
Right, but I'm going to buy it.
We'll get that next week.
We'll get that next week, but I'm going to buy it because it's a good cigar.
I'm sorry I'm going to miss it. Make sure that you
Oh yeah, we're going to ask and ask a lot of questions.
let them know that
Where are you?
But you
gonna
know
be?
what? I'm going to step back for a second. Me, Fast, and Scotty Too Hottie visited a couple of the black-owned booths, and they weren't forthcoming on the sales pitch.
yeah, you
They
were saying that.
they made a mistake with that because they understood that they were owners, and we stayed around long enough for them to say, "Well, listen, you guys are owners," and they asked us a little bit about our shop. Well, we were waiting for like, okay, and no end came.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our job to say, by the way, we'd like to.
No more end
It
date.
was their job to, and they weren't forthcoming.
Yeah.
So they didn't have the right representation there to go like a good
Now,
salesperson.
Howard G.
You know what I'm saying?
And he'll be on the show in June.
Because
Get him on
they
in
didn't have a good sales rep.
Yeah.
There to help along.
Well,
That's where they made the
the one
mistake.
Martinez cigars that we got out of New York with the Lanceros, we were talking to one guy. We had 4 or 5 of them were just sitting down in chairs in the back. Yes. I guess it could be the posse just hanging there.
I guess I never really read.
I don't know if they're part of the company because we didn't get to talk to them. We talked to the one guy.
Great show.
So community coffee, local.
They released a new one.
It started out in New Orleans. We all know the
Yeah.
history and story about that.
I think it's delicious.
And-
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they're
I really didn't-
inexpensive.
Really didn't know
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't bad for a bag of that.
They started in New Orleans.
Yeah. I think it's delicious. I really like it.
And the name, if I remember the story right, the name came because it was owned by the community.
Yeah.
So they roasted
They
it.
stuck with that.
They had the chicory blend. That was their first start.
Not a fan of that one.
It has its.
I
You gotta
like the
get used
chicory.
to it.
I like the
You gotta
chicory.
feel-
I don't know if it's community, but when I go to New Orleans and I stop at the Cafe Du Monde,
Yeah,
I like the chicory coffee there.
it has a.
Because you know what?
There's a time.
I throw a little bit of the powdered sugar from the beignet on
Sure.
top.
I mean,
And
you
it's
get
really
some of
good.
it left, or
As
if
you
it's
would.
not on
Yeah, it's
product
all
yet.
over you. You're a mess.
So, coffee,
I mean, maybe.
it's a solid 875.
Yeah, it's just good stuff.
It's just you can't go wrong with it. The breakfast blend, as I've developed my palate for coffee,
We'll have you on the show.
no comments. I've learned that the breakfast blend has more caffeine in it than
Yeah.
the dark roast.
Yes.
So you get that hit.
Hmm.
After about half the cup, I was starting to get the caffeine sweat.
Yeah.
So it's a good
Absolutely. Up
breakfast
on the
blend.
brow.
Yeah, good cigar, good coffee, good show.
Yeah, good show. I enjoyed it, gentlemen. Thank you.
We got a lot coming up.
Woo.
Again, I'm sorry I'm not going to be here next week. It's just a family event. Got to take
Yeah.
care of it.
Take care of business.
And Mrs. Morty and I are going to head over to Nashville for 2 nights.
Enjoy that.
To see some things and
Yeah, you'll enjoy that. This
spend a little time
first part,
away.
second part will be nice.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So,
Check us out.
you guys got anything?
Anything? Bones?
Oh, I'm done. I'm going.
I'm looking forward to football season.
Oh yeah. I want to
It's
see
a long
how
ways
these new
away,
guys.
man.
I want to see how they pan out.
What do we?
And also, we got to twist each other's arms behind our back. No betting on the Saints.
We're about 4.5
That ain't
months
gonna
out.
happen. That ain't gonna happen. All right, Mav, take us home.
All right. For the 5.5 Legs Virtual Cigar Lounge, we're going to bid you a safe and happy weekend. And from Mort, Bones, and myself, Maverick, have a great weekend, folks.
Yep.